Hi guys, welcome to another live, and today I wanted to talk about my experience from last weekend and how this kind of ties in with meditation or mindfulness and insight. So last weekend I did a ultra marathon, so that was a 72-kilometer long run or run, hike, walk through a bunch of different types of terrain, mainly off-road. So it was a real challenge, going up and down these hills in the bush, and for all that distance, and it took me about 11 hours total. So it was a quite a challenge. I don't train a whole lot for these. I have done a 50-kilometer ultra marathon a few years ago, but otherwise it was really quite difficult. And the day after, I was it was hard to walk, but I've mostly recovered now. So I learned quite a lot from doing this, and it really kind of helped me with my insight and my spiritual path. So I wanted to talk about that and how we can use our everyday activities to gain insight, not just our meditation sessions. So a big thing about ultramarathon is listening to your body. So this is one thing which became very apparent doing this run, because you really, to make it to the end, it's not about getting the best time or being the fastest. It's about really completing it. That's a mission in itself, completing that whole distance. And if you try to push yourself too early, go too fast, run at your normal pace, then you're just not going to make it. And nobody wants a big DNF, did not finish, next to their name. So the goal is to make it to the end. And to do that, I really had to listen to my body. And that's not something I was very good at in the past, always rushing around and kind of just neglecting the state of my body so that I could, get my work done, impress others, progress in my career, all these kinds of things. I really pushed myself, and my body paid the price, and I wasn't aware enough or mindful enough to see the deterioration. Things like high cholesterol, blood pressure, all these things come from a lack of listening to the body. And this was very apparent with my experience with the ultra, because there was things like, you'd have an energy gel or a snack, and you'd take it out, and you'd feel like, oh, I'm so tired, I'm just going to eat this thing down so I can get some more energy. And when I did that, I found that my stomach was actually quite sore and nauseous after taking that energy. And what I realized is that every time I took an energy gel, when I felt a sense of hunger within me rather than a mental sense of I need more energy, then I didn't get any upset stomach. So my stomach was fine when I actually listened to my body, when I heard it say, oh, I'm ready to accept some energy, some food. So then the body naturally feels hungry, and then that's when I had the gel, and then I had no problems with my stomach. But if I just listen to my head, oh, I need more energy, I need to go faster, that's when I got a sore stomach from eating the gel. So that was a strong lesson, to really listen to my body and take it seriously, take the signals of the body seriously, not just listen to my head, which was always trying to push myself. There'll be people passing me, and I'll be like, oh, that person's doing 100-kilometer, and I'm only doing the 70, and he's just passed me. I should be going faster, so maybe I should go faster. But no, you have to sort of look at those kinds of feelings for what they are, listen to them, acknowledge them, say, hey, yeah, there's this kind of voice in my head saying I need to go faster. But then also listen to the body and say, actually, the body needs to, feels like it just needs to slow down a bit and just stay at an even pace and keep going. I can feel some pain in my hips or something, or a bit of a cramp coming on. I shouldn't push it. I want to get to the end. I don't want a big fat DNF. So that was another instance of listening to my body and making sure that I am using that information wisely, using my mind wisely, and using my body wisely in all those signals that come from the pain and the tiredness. And I guess another thing that I learned was that I can go further than I think. So the last 25 kilometers of this run was the most hilly and the most difficult. And I knew that because I had read the elevation chart before I did the run, so I knew when the hard parts were coming. So I got to, just before that last 25 kilometers, and I was thinking, oh no, this is the hardest part, and I'm already exhausted, I'm already in pain. How am I going to finish? And those voices in your head aren't always conducive. You sort of have to see them for what they are. Okay, that's a useful piece of information. It's saying, hey, okay, maybe I need to slow down a bit. But then you can't let that fear stop you. You can't let it make you get tighten or weaken you. So you have to take that information for what it is. Okay, it's going to get a bit more difficult. Maybe I should slow down a bit and keep an even pace, keep going, keep warm, and I'll get to the end. So I listened to that, I took that information and used it and got to the end without, freaking out or making things worse. So that's another example of something I learnt, listening to the head, listening to the information, but not becoming fearful of it, not letting it overwhelm myself. So yeah, there's all sorts of little thoughts that go through the mind during this period. And I think if you're mindful about it, you can really start to see kind of things like, are you a competitive person? Do you push yourself? Do you ignore your body? Do you actually, can you do more than you think you can do? All these things, kind of insights that arise out of this experience. And it's a lot more powerful when they arise out of your experience and out of your own mind and your own world, rather than reading these things in a book, which you may think you've learnt it from reading in a book, but it's not until you have this experience it really trains this neural network more effectively than just a bunch of words that somebody else wrote. So this is how a lot of our experiences themselves can teach us much more than simply reading. As long as we're mindful and we cultivate a lifestyle of mindfulness and put that into our everyday activities and not just in our meditation sessions. So that's another thing which I got out of this, is that reminding me again that all of these things we learn from meditation and this kind of calmness and peace of mind we get, this all infuses into our everyday activities, and our everyday activities can also become part of our practice, and it feeds back and forth, improving our meditation. Our meditation improves our experience. So that's basically the kinds of things I learned. It was very cool getting to the finish line as well, finally finishing it. It felt like the last 5 kilometers were just, oh my God, where's the end? Where is the end? Is it coming? And then finally you see it and you hear it and you get there. And that was an amazing feeling of relief, feeling of achievement as well. And it was interesting kind of expectation that the pain would stop, but no, it actually gets worse after the finish line because your body cools down, the adrenaline wears off, and it just gets even stiffer and colder and more painful. So yeah, it was difficult sleeping as well, and then get up the next day, you're only slightly better. But then you quickly recover, and that was an insight in itself that, okay, yeah, the pain goes away, it's only temporary, we get back to normal. We didn't push ourselves enough to injure anything, so it was all smooth, all good. We listened to our body. So yeah, again, I guess running and walking are really good ways to extend our meditation practice into our daily activities. So this was a really good example of actually quite a painful experience, but it had its ups and downs, of turning any activity into a good opportunity for insight, for mindfulness, for meditation, and for learning something on our spiritual path. And you don't have to go out and run an ultra. You can learn a lot of these things just by extending, as I mentioned, extending your meditation or your mindfulness into your daily activities, not just keeping them to your 10 minutes a day meditation, whatever you do. Let that mindfulness and meditation enter into other activities. Maybe just going for a walk, if you often go for a walk in the park, make that into a meditation experience. Every time you take a step, really feel that step. Make sure you are fully aware of every aspect of that step, and then take the next one, and see how long you can hold to that mindfulness of going for a walk. And then you can also extend it into running, which can be quite a mindful and meditative experience. And then perhaps bring it into other types of things you do during the day, even driving. Someone once asked me, "Oh, isn't meditating while driving really dangerous? With your eyes closed and going like this?" Well, no, that's not meditation. Meditation is entirely in your mind. It's nothing to do with having a certain pose, although we do that to help train ourselves. Still body is a still mind, upright body is an upright mind. But as we start bringing meditation into our daily experiences, driving can be one of those, as long as we're doing our meditation correctly and we're doing it to bring ourselves into a state of awareness and not just kind of zoning out. You definitely don't want to be doing that while driving, but as long as you're very aware of the fact that you're driving, your driving can only get safer by being meditative while driving. It's not going to be more dangerous, but as long as your meditation is actually going in the direction that it should be, and not just zoning out. So there's lots of things you can do. Eating as well, you can bring meditation into eating, brushing your teeth, all these things, and that will help bring this all the benefits of meditation more strongly into your lifestyle. You'll start to make better choices about eating or doing things. All of these activities will become more relaxing. You'll see the different things, ways of doing things more clearly, your particular ways, and they'll naturally become smoother and better. So all these things, and by having a more smoother experience of your life, that will feed into your meditation as well, improving that. So it's all related, and this is how we get the biggest benefits, not just using meditation as some sort of tool for relaxing so that you can continue living a stressful and mindless life where you may not be listening to your body or your mind or anything, and you're only just restricting the meditation to 5 minutes a day or something. So anyway, that's mainly what I had to talk about today, and I hope you got something out of that. And I would encourage you guys to just get out there, do some exercise. It's always good for the body, good for the mind, good for your meditation, and bring meditation into your everyday experiences. So thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you on the next one. Any questions or comments, leave them below, and have a great day.